Now on Coast TV News.
Remembering Charlie Kirk. The prayer vigils taking place in the U.S., including one held last night in Georgetown as fallout continues after the assassination of the conservative activist.
Teacher staffing trends.
We are seeing nationally that we are leading in this area.
Why Delaware is in a better position than other states when it comes to a teacher shortage in schools.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Some patchy fog to start, 50s and 60s. Clouds on the increase ahead of a coastal low. I'll have the latest on how that will impact Delmarva coming up.
Goodbye, summer charges. Free parking returns to the coast this week. We have when and where for this local sign that summer is ending.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. It is Monday, September 15th, 2025.
Yeah, earlier you mentioned patchy fog on your drive in, but all was clear on your deer tracker in your car.
My deer tracker was clear. Usually the deer love to come out, especially when it's foggy.
They just want to say hi, Elisa.
They just want to keep you extra alert, but the good thing, a lot of the corn has been cut down, so I think that helps with visibility as well. Yes, but Chris is going to tell us more about that patchy fog. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Elisa. Yeah, it was a spectacular weekend, and we're going to carry some sunshine at least through the start of our day as we take a live look into ocean view. See the high clouds there, sunrise 6:40. Temperature there of 70, winds out of the northeast at about 6 miles an hour. No widespread fog to speak of, but do use some caution throughout those back roads this morning with some radiational fog developing. We're at 69 Rehoboth, 58 Dagsboro, 60 Salisbury, 59 Laurel to 61 in Bridgeville. There's those wind gusts, some gusts upwards of 21 in Indian River Inlet. It's going to be pretty windy as we go, especially into the day tomorrow, thanks to a coastal low that's developing to our south. We have clear skies at the moment. Could see some showers well off the coast there of Accomack County. Some heavier rain to our south, but you can see that spin there. That is that area of low pressure off the Carolinas. That's going to eventually push to the north here as we push into the day and eventually spreading some showers into the region tonight. So we stay dry for most of the day with clouds increasing. Unfortunately, this coastal low is going to produce, some unsettled weather really for the next 2 to 3 days as we go into the day tomorrow. So we begin the day with some sunshine. Clouds quickly increase through the afternoon. A breezy day with winds gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. Coming up, we'll talk about some heavier rain, windier conditions, some high surf, and when it'll all be out of here coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is how people are responding after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. One of those responses occurred last night in the Georgetown Circle.
You can see here hundreds of people attended the prayer and candlelight vigil organized by Sussex County Republicans.
And they described the vigil as a time of reflection, remembrance, and resolve. Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at Utah Valley University in one of his signature Prove Me Wrong events.
And Republican leaders who are speaking are calling for unity and continued dialogue with those you may disagree with.
And this morning, investigators are working to understand what led to the shooting. Republican Utah Governor Spencer Cox says the suspect is not cooperating with authorities.
As NBC's Bofti Yiman shows us, since the assassination, employees of schools, airlines, and hospitals have faced firings and discipline over online posts seen as mocking or celebrating Kirk's death.
As crowds gather to pay tribute to conservative activist Charlie Kirk, charges are expected to be filed Tuesday against the alleged shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, says Utah's Governor Spencer Cox.
He does come from a conservative family, but his ideology was very different than his family.
State records show Robinson is not affiliated with a political party, nor did he vote in the two most recent general elections. Kirk was critical of transgender people and trans rights, and Governor Cox says Robinson disliked Kirk and his viewpoints. Part of the pieces of information gathered during interviews with loved ones, including the suspect's former roommate, who was also his boyfriend.
A boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female, so we know that piece. I will say that that person has been very cooperative.
But he says that's not the case with the suspect, who's not cooperating. The governor adding the roommate had no idea about Robinson's possible plans. Meanwhile, in Washington,
trying to calm the nerves.
The unease around security for members of Congress continues as some cancel events or move them indoors.
When Charlie Kirk was shot, I said to somebody immediately, that could be you or me.
Plans for a massive memorial are underway for this Sunday, and it's expected to draw thousands, including President Trump.
I'm going to be going to Charlie's, I guess you'd call it a funeral. There's the small one. I said, can we do the big one? Because we're going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is a big deal.
The movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen.
Kirk's wife spoke publicly for the first time, calling her husband a martyr and vowing to continue his legacy, which has gained even more support after his assassination. In Washington, Bofta Imam, NBC News.
Tonight, Ocean City looking to move forward with several projects in fiscal year 2026. It includes a 14th Street generator for the water department and fleet and garage renovations. The first reading of the ordinance on this is scheduled for the mayor and council meeting with the general obligation municipal purpose bonds not to exceed $52 million.
New this morning, the 2025-2026 school year is underway, and Delaware schools are continuing to fight back against a teacher shortage. According to the Delaware Department of Education, as of August 15th, there are a total of 466 teacher openings in Delaware, 55 of those being in Sussex County. The department says Delaware is making great progress in filling vacancies.
We are seeing nationally that we are leading in this area. So post-pandemic, Delaware has grown its educator workforce more than any other state in the nation.
Dr. Saylor says they're seeing a lot of people from different careers transition into education. The Delaware Department of Education says it will follow up with an update on those vacancies this week. And tomorrow, the Sussex County Council is expected to consider a zoning change request, turning farm property on Route 24 from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district. The Bellmead Farm plans for apartments and retail has been in the works for months, with some delays after planning and zoning decided they wanted to hear from the Cape Henlopen School District, who has two schools less than half a mile away from the farm. We've covered this for months, and here's what people had to tell us this spring when the project was in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I came here because I felt that it was less congested than New York. You know, coming out of Queens, New York and going into Long Island, that's really a headache of traffic. So it looks like they're heading that way too.
The Sussex County Council has a public hearing on the Bellmead tomorrow at 1:30.
In Delaware, a bill dealing with books. We'll move on. Okay, there we go. Today, Governor Matt Myers expected to sign the Freedom to Read Act, House Bill 119.
The legislation says books cannot be banned because of who wrote them, their background, or their viewpoints. Also, books cannot be pulled from shelves due to political, ideological, or religious objections.
Yeah, under the bill, both public and school libraries must create policies for how book challenges are handled. Any book under review must stay available until the process is finished. And for more information on requirements for school and the public libraries in Delaware based on the legislation, you can head to that article right now on CoastTV.com.
And that's not the only bill Governor is signing today. According to Governor Myers' office, he's also expected to sign Senate Bill 80. The legislation aims to protect people from strategic lawsuits against public participation, also known as SLAPP, that leverage courts to silence criticism. The governor says this legislation will strengthen Delaware's current anti-SLAPP law and ensure the First Amendment rights. And you won't hear that sound much longer, as today is the last day for paid parking in most coastal communities. Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick Islands meters go off Tuesday, but parking at the beach in Lewis will cost you through September 30th, and even later downtown, that's October 14th. At the Ocean City Inlet, you will have to pay the meter through Halloween.
In Lewis, it's the realization of a goal after years of fundraising efforts. Settlement on the 4th Street Force, it's happening today. The Greater Lewis Foundation raised the money and will transfer the property to the city, who will keep the parcel open space in downtown Lewis.
And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today.
Yeah, coming up, playground petition progress. We're going to tell you how a request for changes at Canal Front Park in Lewis could move forward tonight.
Also, protest ordinance problems. Pushback could be making progress in Ocean View as some locals continue to disagree with a new ordinance.
And beach erosion relief. What you need to know about the parking at the Indian River Inlet as that area prepares for a big replenishment project. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. I hope it was a wonderful weekend. We certainly did pretty good weather-wise. And we're going to start the day with some sunshine. Sun rising at 6:40. Live look into Laurel, 59 degrees there. Watch for some patchy fog, especially in those back roads this morning. Nothing all that widespread as far as fog is concerned. We're at 69 Rehoboth Beach, 61 in Milton, 56 Harrington to 60 in Salisbury. Winds pretty calm for the most part, with the exception at the coast. We're seeing gusts upwards of 22 Indian River Inlet to 16 in Bethany Beach, and that is all ahead of a developing area of low pressure, a coastal low off the Carolinas there. That's going to be pushing northward as we push through the day today, and that's going to allow for showers to develop primarily this evening and tonight. We're going to stay dry for most of the day. Sun to clouds, 76 degrees with some humidity out there as well. You can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalis Federico. We'll track the latest rain and how much we can expect to see coming up in that full 7-day forecast here in a few minutes. Matt.
All right, Chris. More beach nourishment coming to the Indian River Inlet. It's according to Delaware Seashore State Park, and starting today, equipment getting in place to move 500,000 cubic yards of sand from the Ebb Shoal onto the beach. Parking and parts of the beach will close 1,000 at a time, starting at the North Jetty and continuing north.
And this is footage of when the dunes on the north side of the inlet breached in 2024. Good news, the dunes did withstand the recent hurricane, but this new work is expected to bolster the beach even more.
Got a heads up for drivers in Rehoboth Beach. Starting today, Munson and Christian streets are getting work. City says it will replace water mains and pave the streets through Wednesday.
President Donald Trump says he's talking with China about the future of TikTok. Those talks come just days before a critical deadline that will determine whether the popular social media app remains available in the United States or goes away. Congress passed a law last year requiring TikTok's parent company ByteDance to sell the app to an American buyer or face a ban in the United States. It's possible the president could extend the deadline again when it comes up on Wednesday.
Facebook users are starting to receive payments tied to the social media giant's $725 million settlement related to the Cambridge Analytica scandal. A now closed marketing firm was accused of getting Facebook user information in order to target voters during the 2016 presidential election. Multiple lawsuits were filed against Facebook that claimed the company allowed information to get to third parties without permission.
Well, it's been a pleasant start to our Monday with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. We begin the day with some sun, but, well, we're going to quickly cloud up through the afternoon with highs reaching the mid to upper 70s. We'll talk about increasing clouds, showers, rain, wind, and high surf over the next few days. That's all coming up in the full 7-day forecast right after the break.
Time is 6:17, and we are getting a live look at the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewis with some clouds greeting the sunrise. And calm right now, Chris, but you are tracking some rain for later.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to really carry that beautiful weather we had over in the weekend into this week. We're going to be not too bad today, but we're tracking a coastal system to our south. It's going to be pushing in some rain, wind, and high surf to Delmarva over the next few days. Visibility not all that bad this morning. Some patchy fog in those back roads this morning, so do use some caution, at least for the next hour. 59 there in Laurel, 63 Georgetown, 61 Milton to 70 Indian River Inlet, 69 there in Rehoboth Beach. We're seeing some gusts upwards of 20 Indian River Inlet. And it's going to be a pretty windy day come tomorrow, as we could see some gusts as high as 40, 45 miles an hour. Dew points right now are generally in the lower 60s, and it's going to be rather tropical, muggy here over the next 3 to 4 days with this low pressure system coming up from the south. It's going to bring in some muggier air. Small craft advisories up through 6 a.m. Wednesday, and then we have gale warnings up. These go into effect after midnight tonight through 7 o'clock Tuesday, with winds as high as 40, 45 miles an hour. High surf advisory, Accomack County. High risk of rip currents going into tomorrow. Could see wave heights upwards of 7 to 9 feet down through that part of Delmarva. A few spotty showers off of Accomack and Chickatee there. Most of the rain is to the south. That area of low pressure, you see that spin there. That's going to be pushing northward through the day today and eventually spreading that rain into the area coming tonight really through the day tomorrow and into Wednesday, and then could some showers even lingering into Thursday morning. So we're mostly cloudy this afternoon. Highs generally in the mid to upper 70s. Winds out of the northeast about 10 to 20 miles an hour. So I think we stay dry primarily through the evening. Then we see those scattered showers and even some moderate pockets of rain pushing into the area through Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, a damp, wet start with rain around, scattered showers continuing into the afternoon. And then by Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, could even hear a rumble of thunder with some isolated thunderstorms possible as we go into Wednesday afternoon. Rainfall totals, well, generally at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Could see upwards of 2 inches of rain. Winds today gusting upwards of 25, by tomorrow 45, maybe even close to 50 miles an hour out of the northeast. And then those winds will subside as we go into the day on Wednesday. There's that system, clears out by Thursday afternoon, and Friday and Saturday looking very nice. 76 today with the clouds developing. Showers this evening through the overnight, drizzle with patchy fog. We're at 72 with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorm by the afternoon. Yellow alert in play there. Wednesday, scattered showers continuing, and then a morning shower Thursday, clearing skies by the afternoon. And then we're looking at sunny skies and 80s by Friday.
All right, well, that looks good, at least for Friday. Thank you, Chris. Protests continue in Ocean View over an ordinance critics say restricts the First Amendment.
On Saturday, the group Indivisible Southern Delaware took to Main Street, speaking out against that controversial ordinance that created time, place, and manner restrictions on protesting in town.
And some of those regulations include fees up to $150, also the needing of a permit 36 hours in advance, and limiting the gatherings between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Indivisible Southern Delaware says they did not get a permit for this weekend's protest intentionally, and that they are fighting for everyone's right to protest, not just their own.
They cannot prevent us from protesting because they may not particularly care for our message or anybody's message. So it's not just for my free speech, it's even for the people that don't agree with me. They have every right to come out and peacefully protest as well.
And according to town officials, the goal of the ordinance was to promote safety and protection of public property. After deferring action last week, Ocean View Town Council is set to introduce a new ordinance repealing the original protest ordinance next month.
Happening today, a water line replacement in Salisbury will require a brief road closure. The city says the Department of Waterworks will complete it on Riverside Drive. That street will be closed to drivers between Woodland Road and Douglas Road. The city says work begins at 9 a.m. and is expected to finish around 3:30 p.m.
The Maryland Folk Festival is almost here, and that means several road closures across downtown Salisbury. According to the city's website, this is to make room for the stages, the vendors, and the thousands of visitors. The city is closing streets in phases, and that starts tomorrow. Some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th, and the Maryland Folk Festival takes place from the 19th to the 21st.
Coming up next on Coast TV News Today, playground petition progress despite recent safety upgrades. We'll tell you why one local in Lewis is fighting for a change at Canal Front Park. We'll be right back. Happening today, cautions at Canal Front Park are back up for discussion. According to the agenda for the Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission, there could be action on a request to put a fence around the park. The playground reopened this spring with accessibility upgrades, but now some parents are asking for the city of Lewis for more. Siobhan Park started a petition asking for the installation of a fence. She says she worries about the risk of drowning because of the proximity to the water, and says a fence is an added layer of security.
In no way does a fence replace parental supervision. I think anyone who has been to the playground with several children can attest, like I said, to how quickly toddlers can be. This is not a replacement, it's an added layer of protection.
And the Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission will gather at 5 o'clock.
With the petition for an added fence, here's some of the current safety features at Canal Front Park. With an estimated total cost of over $455,000, Canal Front Park avoided using mulch. Instead, built the park with safety surfacing in order to reduce the risk of injury when children fall. And in addition to that large pirate ship with a slide, children can enjoy a merry-go-round with wheelchair accessibility.
Well, I hope everyone spent a lot of time outside this weekend. You said you went to the beach because Chris is saying a cloudy Monday.
Yeah, we also had the 5K walk for
Yes.
prostate cancer. But Chris, when we're looking ahead to today, a little breezy if you're going to be spending any time on the beach, whether for a walk or just relaxing.
Yeah, and that's only a taste of what's to come, because by tomorrow we're going to see winds as high as 45 miles an hour along the coast as this coastal low gets closer to our area. Clear skies, just a few high cirrus clouds. They're looking out from low as 69 degrees there. Winds out of the north at about 12 miles an hour. So we'll begin the day with some sunshine, quickly cloud up through the afternoon with highs Ocean City, Fenwick generally in the mid 70s. Same thing for Lewis and Rehoboth. Sun to clouds this afternoon, breezy. Notice moderate risk of rip currents by tomorrow, high risk of rip currents with some waves upwards of 7 to 9 feet by tomorrow. Cambridge 63 at 7 a.m. See highs generally there in the upper 70s with cloudy skies developing through the afternoon. We have our umbrella winner here, Kathy Single of Milton, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV News weather umbrella there. Congratulations, Aaron. You're going to need the umbrella by tomorrow and really through midweek. We'll talk more about the rain chances coming up in that 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, paid parking updates as the season comes to an end in some coastal communities. We'll tell you what areas still require a fee for this day.
Also, with a new school year underway, how Delaware is working to tackle a nationwide teacher shortage.
And we show you a vigil in Georgetown in honor of conservative activist Charlie Kirk as the nation continues to react and top lawmakers are speaking out. Coast TV News today will be right back after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
Show of faith. The growing tributes for Charlie Kirk after his assassination last week, including one Sunday night in Georgetown.
Ocean City Investments, the initiatives that are getting funded for fiscal year 2026 and the action tonight that could move them forward.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Some patchy fog to start, 50s and 60s. Clouds on the increase ahead of a coastal low. I'll have the latest on how that will impact Delmarva coming up.
School hiring hurdles, how Delaware is addressing a nationwide trend of a teacher shortage.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 15th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
The time is 6:31 a.m. and perhaps 24 hours from now, we'll be talking about a Phillies division title clincher. It's going to be a late one tonight. It's in L.A.
Well, I know someone who would be very happy about that, but Chris, you said you're not going to watch the games this week because it's going to be way past your bedtime, but I think you're going to check the score in the middle of the night.
Yeah, probably when I get up. I didn't even know they had another West Coast trip in the season. Got that 10 o'clock start in L.A. Beautiful shot here into Ocean View. Sun rising on our Monday here on Delmarva. 70 degrees there. Dew point 64, winds out of the northeast. Seeing some gusts upwards of 20 along the coast. Fog hasn't been a widespread issue this morning, but those back roads could see some patchy fog through sunrise. We're at 69 in Rehoboth. 63 there in Milton to 63 Georgetown. There's those winds gusting at the coast, 21 in Indian River, 18 in Bethany Beach. We're clear, free of any precipitation at the moment, but you could see some showers just off the coast of the southern portion of the peninsula. And this is our area of low pressure that's going to begin to lift to the north throughout the day today. So we stay dry for most of the day. We're at 61 to start with the sun to start, but then clouds are going to really be on the increase throughout the day today as we get into the 70s. Showers tonight and that coastal low will bring impacts really beginning tonight through Thursday morning in the form of scattered rain, heavy at times, wind and high surf. But the good news is we clear out just in time for Friday and the weekend. We'll talk more about the rain and how much we could expect to see in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
All right, thank you, Chris. And now our top story this half hour, people filling the Georgetown Circle on Sunday to remember slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
You can see here hundreds of people attended the prayer and candlelight vigil. It's organized by Sussex County Republicans.
Organizers described the vigil as a time of reflection, remembrance, and resolve. Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at Utah Valley University in one of his signature Prove Me Wrong events.
Republican leaders who spoke are calling for unity and continued dialogue with those you disagree with.
As crowds gather to pay tribute to conservative activist Charlie Kirk, charges are expected to be filed Tuesday against the alleged shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. That's according to Utah's Governor Spencer Cox. Plans for a massive memorial are underway for Sunday, and it's expected to draw thousands, including President Trump.
Be going to Charlie's, I guess you'd call it a funeral. There's the small one. I said, can we do the big one? Because we're going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is a big deal.
And Kirk's wife spoke publicly for the first time, vowing to continue his legacy.
Tonight, Ocean City is looking to move forward with several projects in fiscal year 2026. It includes a 14th Street generator for the water department and fleet and garage renovations. First reading of the ordinance is scheduled for the mayor and council meeting with the general obligation municipal purpose bonds not to exceed $52 million.
Well, class is back in session, and a challenge across the nation and in Delaware has been the teacher shortage.
We caught up with the Delaware Department of Education to learn where schools in Sussex County stand when it comes to filling teacher vacancies.
The 2025-2026 school year is underway, and many may be wondering how Delaware schools are doing after years of dealing with a teacher shortage. According to the Delaware Department of Education, as of August 15th, there are a total of 466 teacher openings in the state, 55 of those in Sussex County. The department says Delaware is making great progress in filling vacancies.
We are seeing nationally that we are leading in this area. So post-pandemic, Delaware has grown its educator workforce more than any other state in the nation. So that's promising.
But Dr. Michael Saylor, Chief of Staff with the Delaware Department of Education, says there's one area of education that needs the most help right now.
We're seeing the greatest need in high school right now, and it's in the 4 content areas. So our largest shortages right now are in math, science, social studies, and language arts.
Dr. Saylor says they're seeing a lot of people from different careers transition into education. The department says it's addressing shortages with programs like teacher residencies and para-to-teacher pathways. Amanda Howard, a kindergarten teacher at Longneck Elementary School, encourages people to consider a job in education because it is so fulfilling.
It's just such a good feeling knowing that you are creating the future. You are helping the future professions because you have no idea what these kids are going to turn into as adults. They could be doctors, lawyers. You are creating all of these different professions within one classroom.
The Delaware Department of Education says it will follow up this week about the vacancies. When it collected data in August, many positions were still in the interview process or awaiting responses to offers.
That was so smart.
Tomorrow, the Sussex County Council is expected to consider a zoning change request in the Lewis area, turning the Bellmead Horse Farm from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district. Debate on the Bellmead development for apartments and retail has continued for months, with some delays after planning and zoning decided they wanted to hear from the Cape Henlopen School District, who has 2 schools less than a half mile away from the farm. Sussex County Council has a public hearing on Bellmead tomorrow at 1:30 p.m.
Well, you won't hear that sound much more, as today is the last day for paid parking in most coastal communities. Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick meter goes off Tuesday, but parking at the beach in Lewis will cost you through September 30th. And even later in the downtown area, it will run through October 14th. At the Ocean City Inlet, you will have to pay the meter through Halloween.
Happening today, west of Harbison, Pettyjohn Road is closing between Gravel Hill Road and Prettyman Road. We have a map of this area on your screen. DelDOT says the closure starts at 7 a.m. for the week. The department confirms the closure is necessary for horizontal jack and bore for an off-site water main. We still have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Northside Park safety problems. We'll tell you about possible changes for electric bikes and scooters that could cost riders.
Also cutting down Kansas City, the big early season win for the Birds in the Super Bowl rematch.
And mobile services in Sussex will tell you how you can catch the Delaware DMV's limited time offer. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva, as we take a live look into Laurel. Clear skies there, some of that fog, some dew burning off there in the distance. Laurel coming in at 58 degrees, dew point right around 58 as well. Winds are pretty calm there. Fog hasn't been a widespread issue this morning, but some isolated pockets of patchy fog are possible here over the next hour. We're at 69 in Rehoboth, 61 Long Neck to 63 in Georgetown. Pretty calm as far as the winds are concerned, really west of Coastal Highway. Some gusts upwards of 20, 25 at the coast. There's our coastal low we've been talking about off the coast of the Carolinas. That's going to be lifting to the north-northeast, the north-northwest today as we go into the overnight. We're at 76 this afternoon, sun, 2 clouds, and then we'll see the showers really begin to develop late tonight through the day tomorrow, and it will be heavy at times with even some isolated thunderstorms possible. But those winds are going to be cranking tomorrow. We'll talk about that and how much rain we could expect to see in that full forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Happening today, drivers should expect to slow down on US 13 in Maryland. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration says a single lane closure will begin on the southbound lanes. You can see that location right here on your screen. It's between Route 12 and Stockyard Road. The agency says crews are expected to complete a resurfacing project by late fall. The DMV On The Go mobile unit is back in Sussex County for the 2025 season. According to the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles, the traveling office operates 3 days a week now through October 30th. Today, it's at the Lewis Transit Center. Tuesdays, you'll find it at the Milton Cheer Center. And on Thursdays, the unit will set up at the Harbor Freight Shopping Center in Seaford. The agency says the unit is open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Here we go again. Eagles, Chiefs. The last time they met, that was 7 months ago, and that's when the Eagles won their second Super Bowl. This time it is a Week 2 matchup in the regular season. This one was in Kansas City, and just before halftime, let's check out Jake Elliott here. 58 yards downtown, and it is good. We are tied at 10. We go early fourth quarter now. Chiefs inside the Eagles 10. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Looks like a touchdown, but there's a bobble, and there is Andrew Bakuba, who picks it off and takes it 41 yards the other way. It led to this, the classic tush push. Jalen Hurts on the keeper. The Eagles go into Kansas City, and they leave little doubt about their ability to defend their Super Bowl title. Eagles are 2-0 after a 20-17 win. It was the home opener Sunday for the Ravens, and they had no trouble taking care of the Browns. Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdown passes in a 41-17 rout. Ravens pick up their first win of the season. They're in Detroit next week. And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 5:30, it is live. Henlopen Conference girls volleyball when Indian River visits Milford. Then catch the final score at 10:30 on the DSN Plus app. Along with that volleyball matchup, here are your exclusives. 4 o'clock, we have Pocomoke hosting Kent Island in field hockey. 4:30, Kent County takes on Cambridge South Dorchester. That's in boys soccer. And at 5, Saints Peter and Paul, they go up against Worcester Prep in girls volleyball.
Well, fall isn't just for football, it's for marching band too, and the Delmarva Sports Network will cover 6 marching band competitions featuring over a dozen schools from across the peninsula. These competitions will stream exclusively on DSN Plus. The first one is scheduled for Saturday, September 20th. If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hopefully you're having a good Monday so far here along coastal Delmarva, but if you tune into Coast Life at 4 o'clock, we've got a lot more fun in store for you. We're going to be chatting with a local author who's got a new book about a coming-of-age story about growing up in Ocean Pines. Maybe it's something you can relate to. We're also going to be taking a little shopping trip with Kelly, of course, and it's a Monday, so we've got some jokes for you with our joke jar. All that fun and so much more is coming your way today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a picture-perfect weekend with highs in the low 80s. We are going to see cooler temperatures this week as a coastal system impacts the region with rain, wind, and high surf. I'll break down the latest impacts and how much rain we expect to see in that full 7-day forecast right after the break.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning with a beautiful sunrise there. Chris, you've been talking though that sun is really only going to last this morning and throughout the day it's going to get cloudy.
Unfortunately, yeah, cloudy Monday. I mean, it's not going to be that bad of a day, mild day overall, but the rain holds off through this until this evening. Fog hasn't really been a big issue this morning. We've seen some patchy areas of some fog, especially in those back road areas this morning. Temperature-wise, we've been hovering in the mid to upper 50s, inland 57 there, Redden to 56 in Harrington, a bit milder at the coast, 61 Longneck to 69 in Rehoboth. Well, winds right now generally calm. In fact, they're only going to get higher, especially along the coast here over the next 2 days. Dew points right now generally in the mid to upper 50s to low 60s, and it's going to be rather damp and muggy here over the next 4 days as this area of low pressure brings a more kind of tropical air mass into the region. Small craft advisories are up. These kick in tonight through Wednesday morning. Gale warnings up from Ocean City down through Chincoteague. These begin midnight into 7 o'clock tomorrow. High surf advisory, Accomack County. Wave heights as high as 9 feet developing by tomorrow. See some scattered showers off the coast of Accomack County. Those could kind of sprinkle in there here over the next few hours. Most of the peninsula is going to be dry through most of the day. This area of low pressure is going to be lifting northwestward as we push into the day today. So the rain holds off for most of the day. I think by tonight we see the scattered showers develop, and then especially by tomorrow through really Thursday morning. Mostly cloudy this afternoon with highs generally in the mid to upper 70s. Winds out of the northeast at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. As we go into this evening, we'll begin to see some scattered showers spread into the area, kind of pivoting in off the Atlantic. You can see that counterclockwise flow. By tomorrow morning, pockets of some moderate to heavy rain throughout the area. And then by Tuesday afternoon, more scattered rain and even a few rumbles of thunder through late tomorrow night through early Wednesday morning. And then we'll continue to see scattered showers and pockets of drizzle, I think, Wednesday through Thursday morning. Rainfall totals generally beginning tonight through Thursday morning, 1 to 2 inches with locally higher amounts. Winds, not really a big factor today, but look at by tomorrow, could see some gusts upwards of 45, 50 miles an hour as we go into Tuesday evening, and then those winds will relax. So there's the system to our south. It will lift to the northeast Thursday. We clear out Thursday afternoon, and we end the week on a pretty high note. We're at 76 today, breezy, 64 overnight with showers developing, and really a damp, scattered rain, isolated thunderstorms possible. We have that yellow alert in play. Damp, dreary Wednesday, morning showers Thursday, better by the afternoon, and a spectacular Friday with highs in the mid-80s.
Thank you, Chris. Ocean City is seeing more electric scooters and electric bikes at Northside Park, and now there is concern over safety issues. Currently, the park does have a rule against electric scooters and e-bikes, but since it wasn't written into law, there's no way for anyone really to issue the fines, and that's what the Ocean City Council is looking to change. The Recreation and Parks Committee is working on an ordinance to restrict electric scooters and e-bikes at Northside Park, which could lead to fines being handed out. One park goer we spoke to thinks this is actually a great idea.
They go too fast, and there's just too many people that are walking through the park, too many little children walking through the park, pets, etc., and I just don't think the reaction time is such with people on e-bikes.
And once this new ordinance is drafted, it will then get proposed to the Ocean City Council. No timeline yet for that.
The time is now 6:51 and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a rescue, loving his new home. Check out Tybee. As you can see, this 4-month-old is so relaxed he can fall asleep practically anywhere. And Tybee
does look relaxed.
He does. Tybee was submitted to us by Karen in Harbison.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That's where the QR code is. Scan that, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:54 and here are the things you need to know before you go. Happening today, cautions at Canal Front Park are back up for discussion. According to the agenda for the Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission, there could be action on a request to put a fence around the park. The playground reopened this spring with accessibility upgrades, but now some parents are asking the city of Lewis for more. One even started a petition asking for the installation of a fence.
The Maryland Folk Festival is almost here, and that means several road closures across downtown Salisbury. According to the city's website, this is to make room for stages, vendors, and thousands of visitors. The city is closing streets in phases, and that starts tomorrow. Some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th. Maryland Folk Festival takes place from September 19th to the 21st.
More beach nourishment is coming to the Indian River Inlet. According to the Delaware Seashore State Park, equipment will be placed starting today to move 500,000 cubic yards of sand from the Ebb Shoal to the beach. Parking in parts of the beach will close 1,000 feet at a time, starting at the North Jetty and going north.
Today's the last day for paid parking in most coastal towns. Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick meters, they go off on Tuesday. Parking at the beach in Lewis, that'll cost you through September 30th, and even later if you're downtown. That one ends on October 14th. At the Ocean City Inlet, you have to pay the meter through Halloween.
Well, if you're looking for a fall fashion statement with royal appeal, look no further.
All right, look, check out this one here. Mitchell & Ness is releasing a limited quantity of Princess Diana's iconic Philadelphia Eagles varsity jacket.
She famously rocked the look on the cover of People magazine in 1994 and frequently wore the jacket during outings with her sons.
This is the third time Mitchell & Ness has sold the jacket supporting the Super Bowl champions, and it's quickly sold out each time.
And our producer, Alyssa, is a very big Eagles fan, so I'm sure she was happy to put that one in. And who else is an Eagles fan? Well, it's First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Chris, we're not going to talk about the Eagles right now. Let's talk about the weather.
That's a sharp jacket.
Hey, Christmas is just around the corner, Chris. Humidity's right around the corner today.
Oh, yes. We have some humidity creeping back in, as well as some windy conditions. A pretty nice look there into Ocean View. Beautiful start to our day. 70 there. Onshore wind continues. It's going to get pretty windy at the coast here in the next 24 hours. Temperatures today rising into the lower to mid 70s. We will see increasing cloud cover throughout the day. Coastal low is going to be impacting the region beginning tonight. Scattered showers move in. We have the yellow alert in play due in part to winds as high as 50 miles an hour along the coast. Scattered rain, heavy at times, and that rain will linger into Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to have coastal flooding issues as well, but the good news is we end the week on a high note. Look at Friday, 84 degrees, sunny skies, and the weekend right now looking pretty nice with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s.
All right, thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for more news and coverage you can count on, grab your phone like I have right here. You can download our Coast TV News and weather apps. That way you can keep track hour by hour of the weather conditions and that humidity. Here, at least I'm concerned about it.
Yours too.
Thank you. Until we see you for Coast TV News midday at 11 a.m., have a great Monday morning, everybody.